Hi, welcome to the Jenn Hayward show. I'm Jenn Hayward. I look like I'm in a mysterious place, but this is what I'm using for my lighting, folks. I know we're a high-tech organization. Welcome to the Jenn Hayward show. Today we have a guest from Trinkets Boutique in Spencerville, Melissa Rainville. And then we have Joshua J from That Beer Thing. He's also slightly married to me, but don't let that fool you. And more. So again, the Jenn Hayward show is aiming to connect with people, to showcase local people that we enjoy, and to just spread some joy and good in the world. I try not to talk about too many negative things or rant, which is hard. And there we go. So before I bring Melissa up, I'd like everyone to share. If you're from the Jenn Hayward show, if you're watching it on my professional page or the YouTube, it's perfect, easy. Share, make some comments, say howdy. I can show you on the screen. It's beautiful. If you're watching from Jenn Hayward, my personal page, I can't communicate with you. So if you are, and I can tell, one from the Jenn Hayward show or the Jenn Hayward, if you go over to the Jenn Hayward show, write a comment, I'll be able to see it. All right, so we have a great show coming up, but first I want to talk about this little fundraiser I've been doing. It's ridiculously slow, but we're doing it. I'm like the eternal optimist. I'm doing the 14-day movement, which again, I now understand it sounds like I want to poop, but that's not it. It is to create a movement to get out of our heads, get our heads out of our butts, and to help some children who need help, to help the social enterprise. Hera Mission, we've partnered with them to get the funds to my good friends in Busia County and to Mazabuka. This great funds. I'm going to put in the comments the thing. And we have someone named Sherry Crummy, and I'm saying hi. So I don't know who Sherry is. So I'm going to assume she's a friend of Melissa's. Anyway, here we go. Fundraiser is in the comments. Please go donate a little bit. So I want to tell you before I bring Melissa out that we have in Mazabuka, when I was there, I was given Henry, and he was a chicken. And just for a quick reminder, this was the day that I met Henry. I know we talked about a couple days earlier, but there's a reminder. So this is when the nuns thought it was hilarious to get me a chicken. I did say I was
gentleman.
I'm trying to see if you tell the joke on me that I'm going to take him on my lap.
Gentleman is taking the chicken to the car to put it on her lap.
No, are you playing a joke? They told me I had to put the chicken on my lap. So Henry was given a reprieve when I was leaving Zambia. I was there for 5 weeks, and I asked him, I said, I just don't want him to die. I don't even love the chicken, but it was just weird for me to say, I shouldn't have named him, I think was what happened. So she sent me an update today and said that she got 2 baby dogs that they're raising, really giant dogs that will turn into. And she named them Jenn and Josh. And she sent me this photo of that's Jenn and Josh playing with Henry. And she says they're having a meeting and having some fun that way. And so I just thought I'd update. They're having a hoot with the fundraiser with Canada. And they said Henry is now fully domesticated, not scared of humans, and taking on the 2 dogs that they brought in. And that's my boy, Henry. So next time I'm in Mazabuka, trust me, there will be more updates live. But until then, please donate. This is also Memphis in the background. He sometimes pops in. All right. So with that, I'm going to bring our first guest on. She is all the way from Spencerville, and her name is Melissa Rainville. That's right. I got to bring you on. I got to get a producer or something. Hello. How are you?
Okay. How about you?
I'm great. Yeah, I'm listen, this lockdown has been fun. I have enjoyed the cold winter and someone saying, Jenn, you don't have to leave the house. I'm like, all right. But I gave up cannabis for February for this fundraiser, and I'm on day 3. I've asked my husband, do you mind going and grab it? And he said, no. So there you go. So tell me, you used to be in town, and you and your husband moved to Spencerville. Tell me about Spencerville. It's a cute little town. I love your house, everything. Yeah.
Yeah, good old town of Spencerville. Very small town, south of Ottawa. So if you're heading Kemptville, Brockville,
Yeah.
literally drive right past us. Not huge. It's probably comparable to like a Westport or, those kinds of areas. But it's a lovely little town. It has tons of potential.
Yeah.
We landed here because, as you know, we owned Flying Canoe Hard Cider at one point. And,
Yes.
the house we bought was really conducive to our business. We were able to move the business here and manufacture in the garage, which is now where my boutique is. But our house has a lot of history. It belonged to the only doctor in the area. His name is Pember McIntosh, and he just happened to be related to John McIntosh, who is the originator of the Macintosh apple,
And
which is,
you were doing apple cider.
yeah, and we
I
bought
didn't know that about the house because I saw the house. Josh and I were visiting our friend Gina, little sisters, before you moved,
yeah.
and we saw that house for sale, and we are like, "Oh, that would be," and like, not that we could have afforded it, but we were just like, "What?" And so there you went, and so now you've lived there for how long? A couple of years?
Yeah, going on 2 years or 3 years this summer.
Okay, and so you decided to develop Trinkets Bouquet. Why do I say bouquet? Boutique and the dome. Come on.
Yeah, boutique.
I gotta be French. So tell us, like, what made you want to open in the middle of COVID, essentially, right before, a gift shop in a small town?
Well, first of all, we don't have anything like this here.
Sure.
And I come from a retail background. I managed a video store for almost 10 years. And I'm a people person. You know me. I'm like you. I have a big personality and I love to socialize. And I just love, I love shopping. So this is perfect for me because I get to shop for all my inventory.
Yep.
But my mother had passed away and left me a little teeny tiny bit of money. And I thought, you know what? I'd really like to just take her money and invest in something I can grow. Something that I know if she was alive, she would have loved because she was a shopper. So I had a little space down the road before I moved into or took over the Flying Canoe space. But sadly, as you know, I lost it 12 days later to a gigantic fire. Literally lost everything, burned to the ground. I laugh at it now because I just think I don't know, the stars were aligned and it was meant to be. And then I moved here and this has just been wonderful because I can literally walk through my laundry room and I'm at work. So it just turned out to be great.
Well, no kidding. And then shortly after you got there, something happened.
Yeah.
Just a small little thing happened. You want to talk? Yeah, tell us about that.
Sure. I'll be really brief. I won't get into lots of detail, but we had a local person approach us.
And I meant the fire, but yes, this is good too.
Oh, well, that too, because that all ties in.
It all ties in. Yeah. So, I mean, so to bring the bigger topic in, yesterday I was talking to Simone, and she has been severely bullied online and things like that. And then I hear you've had similar circumstances. In a brief form, you've been bullied by a couple of online people who didn't like a decision you made and just made it personal. Would that be a good way to sum it up?
Absolutely. It was a business decision. And it was due to liability. I had to refuse carrying somebody local their product because it would have been a liability.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's weird product labeling laws in this country for sure.
Yeah. And was very polite about it. And she got her friend. It's not really that person. She was a little bit part of it, but she's now got her friend to like literally go on a huge, I don't know, hate campaign against us. And, you know, we've done everything we can. We did everything. The legal route, lawyers, police. And to this day, even yesterday, you know, police were involved again. But it happened. And I just feel people need to be more aware that adults can be bullied too, not just children. But
I heard about this third hand originally, because you guys were very quiet about it because you were dealing with it, because it sounds weird, right? Like, and I've heard of like online, you know, and I even had like slight obsession with a fellow once and things like that. That's still not good. But active hate on for someone and active bullying, I'm seeing it more and more. And I don't know if it's because of the life situation, but it's never acceptable. And the fact that adults are going through this is pretty intense. I'm still trying to fix my life, but yeah. So what advice would you give to people if they have, you know, like, and well, you're still dealing with it, but it's, you know, you stay silent, stuff goes on, you talk about it, and people retaliate, and it doesn't seem to be a lot of recourse. So could we just tell people that, pardon my language, of chill the fuck out? And I mean, like, everybody, society, I've seen it. I've seen woman on woman hate. And that's why I'm doing the 14 days of positivity, is because it was just tearing me inside to see all that. So I'm sorry you went through that. I'm sorry I brought it up in that way. I was like, yeah.
All good. I think my biggest advice would just be, and I've made my own mistakes. I've tried to not retaliate, but not stay defensive, like, or defenseless.
Yeah.
And I made a TikTok here and there in regards to her, and that I got bit in the ass for. So I took them right down. But I mean, the comparison of my posts to hers are way different. Like, I think I might have posted 2 or 3 times, where hers is like, you look at her account, her whole account literally is targeted to me. I would give people the advice is just document everything. Don't engage as much as you possibly can. It's hard. Like, it's super mentally hard not to want to be like you, pardon my language, fuck off, you know, it's difficult. And just keep positive as much as you can. Have a good support system. Pete and my friends and supporters through Trinkets have been amazing, because I was pushed to the point where I almost shut my doors.
Well, and I saw that. That's when because I hadn't known what was going on. Then I saw that and I said, that doesn't sound good, because you guys had just, you know, closed, you know, sold a flying canoe, and you're going on something else. And I said, something else is up, and of course found out. But I think, like what Simone said yesterday, you know, the lighting was good, and then the dog kicked it. That's right. Dog. Now I feel like I'm being investigated. Like, Jen, what did you do? All right. So clearly I needed backlighting, not front lighting. Someone will email me, I'm sure, and say, Jen, this is what you need to do. But when someone is being bullied, I love what Simone said. She says, you know what, do what you're going to do. I'm not going anywhere. I am just going to focus on doing and being a better person. And when someone is trying to affect someone's livelihood, it's just, it weighs on you. You've got kids, you've got, you know, and so, you know, if anyone is watching, you know, even if, and like, what if Melissa was just wrong in what she did? Like, maybe no, it's her business. She has the right to choose what she wants in her thing. She could say no. I could say, you know what, I developed this, I need you to have it. And if someone says no, then you just accept no. I mean, it feels like when I had borderline and I was obsessed with a fella and it wasn't good. I was texting and then I didn't turn the other way that they did. But this is what typically a man would do, or something like when someone spite you, either implode and then make yourself so it's all manipulation. One is overtly being aggressive and one is being underhand, and they're both wrong. So if you find yourself hating someone or loving someone so much that it's affecting your day-to-day life, that your feed, just stop and seek some help, whoever you are. I'm not talking about this situation. I'm seeing it everywhere. I'm seeing it everywhere. So I'm really,
I think mental health plays a big part, and
for sure,
especially my situation too. Like, I'm not discounting the fact that she might be suffering, you know, mentally, but it still doesn't give anybody the right.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter. Like what I said, just because I've had a rough, like I'm going through, you know, right now, bankruptcy and different things, doesn't mean I get to be an asshole to someone else. Exactly. It doesn't. Life can suck. It's about what you do with it. So when I had mental health issues, it was, you know, we'll be talking to Joshua J later. He was part of, you know, as my husband while I'm obsessing about another fella. And he's kind of like, you know, no. So in the end, what I the choices I make, even if it was the only coupon, you still don't get to get away with it, right? I'm still accountable for the choices and the decisions I've made, even though it's mental health, and all you can do is ask for forgiveness, move on, and do good. But you have to stop first. And that's the key,
Yeah.
because there's no way anyone can say that much level of hate and anger is good for anyone. Right.
Yeah.
It's not, it's only going to eat yourself up if, and I love you, but if you were the topic of conversation every time I met someone, I'd be like, we need a new topic, So, but I want to move to Trinkets. I want to hear. So I've invited you, and I want to invite you weekly to tell me your top few picks, so people can get out there while you're there. Go to Little Sisters, grab a cappuccino or something, and then go to Trinkets. And you have unique things that people need to go there, because I have always said, well, why don't you just do it online? When we own the courier company will deliver, and you're like, no, this is a shopping experience. And I'm like, well, they keep closing it down and you can't. But so I want to hear, what's the hot items at Trinkets today?
So I have to say, anything with a swear word on it is super popular. Like
I say so.
at the products I brought in, and I've got some examples to show you. They sell out literally within hours. Like, I just got these lines of mugs in, and this one says, "I'm getting real tired of your shit, Karen."
Nice. Yeah.
There's like
That's going to offend a lot of Karens. Or a husband could give that to his wife
Right?
if her name is
Right.
Karen. That would be great. Yeah.
Or you've had coffee, good morning, asshole. There we go.
Nice. That's a Father's Day gift waiting to happen.
I'm telling you, stuff like that. I had a bunch of pens come in, and I've reordered them 3 or 4 times already.
Yeah.
Funny, quirky sayings. And I feel like with everything going on, everyone kind of being cooped up and mental health on the rise, that these types of items really just allow people to kind of express what their inside voice is saying.
Yeah.
Don't really necessarily want to say it out loud. So they say it like in a mug or a pair of socks or a pen.
Well, it is. You've got kids around, you've got, and it's just kind of like something that makes you smile is what I like to buy. Do you know what I mean? Like we have mugs that, like corporate mugs from like someone's printing shop. I have to say, I've never used that mug, and it's never brought me joy. It hasn't brought me anger or anything, but there's no, oh yeah, I got that printing done that one time and then I got a mug. It's never happened. But if I had something that was funny or had some sentimentality or just something that I'm like, yeah, I'm a boss, whatever.
Right.
It makes you feel good. And so those are great things for them to buy. And so are you stocked up right now?
I'm stocked up. And the thing I absolutely love is when customers come into the store, clients, I like to refer them to, I love like just standing sort of at my cash out and listening to all the laughs. And
Nice.
that day there was a pair of ladies, and they were shopping for their girlfriend for her 65th birthday. And every corner that they took was like a little giggle. And I'm just like, oh, I know I'm doing the right thing if I'm making people laugh as they're walking around the store. So that's sort of my like feel good or make me smile opportunity, is listening to all these people kind of giggle, and I know exactly what they're giggling at. So I know I'm doing a good job when that happens.
Well, and that's the thing. And I saw he was just watching. Oh no, we have a firefighter drop in. That's awesome. Tell him to get over here.
We have a little guy with a stomach bug that got sent home, so he's on sick kid duty.
Oh yeah, no, don't put the puke on. Yeah, no, definitely don't put although it might increase viewership, but let's not do that. So that, yeah, I like what you just said about it being clients, not customers, because it's always a fine line. I did that at Go For It too. Some people I consider customers. I'd never talk to them. They just are in and out and that sort of thing. But anyone else, I'm like, no, you're kind of a client. Like it's, I talk to you on a regular basis because someone dropped a cupcake. But no, it's there are lots of reasons, and it just gives that intimate, because that's what's missing in the world is good customer service. And on the other hand, there are so many people shopping. My daughter works now in a grocery store, and I posted because she's just getting crapped on day in, day out by Karens or people, like people who are just upset about a price check or whatever the thing is. and taking it out on her. And I posted something in a Canada mom group, and I said, listen, we're all in Canada, right? None of us will admit that we're this person, but it happens to every single cashier every single day. So is there a chance that we all need to maybe go so much the other way and be kind to counteract whatever kind of attitude we're giving off? And then everyone was like, yeah, that's all. And there's lots of stories of, yeah, my daughter to my daughter. But the fact is, there's not one woman walking around all of Canada, disturbing every single cashier. So you have to, I've done it. Like everyone can catch themselves. I was with Rogers, and I was like, no, yeah, you may work for the devil, but that doesn't mean you deserve to be talked that way. And I had to catch myself because I was angry. So people, be nice. And then, if you want a great shopping experience with a swear word or two involved, you're going to go down to Trinkets Boutique. Say you went there from the Jenn Hayward show, because I just like to track if one of my 4 viewers went. And it's funny. So if someone came to me and said, how would you grow a brand? And I would say, consistency is key. Like that's
right.
Basic marketing. And every time I've tried to do this show, I was running a business or I had high needs kids. And I was like, well, I can't, I'd have to cancel. So I said, I want to do the show and I want to grow the brand. And then last week I was going to start. And then I said, I'm way too depressed to do this. I'm done. I got over that. I'm fine. But I said, the key is then I have to have guests with no viewers to get viewers to have more guests. And so I thank you. And I want to continue to promote your business. And as we grow to 1,000 followers and that sort of thing, I want to send as much business as we can our way. So Trinkets Boutique. Why am I saying that wrong?
Say boutique.
Boutique. And little boo. You know what? And I might even just come out there and do a live one day from there. But for now, we'll see you again next week, and we will. Oh, don't start barking, dog. And it's what he does. He sees himself in the mirror, and that's it. Like, he's a smart dog until then. But I thank you for being one of our first guests coming out and helping us grow. And I will share it later and tag Trinkets, because I did not tag them in the original one, because once live, you can't. And see if we can't get some business your way. And Josh, I would love it if you went for a drive and got me a mug that said something funny and sexy on it, because this is our first Valentine's Day. We're not going to be working at a courier company. So we're like, we probably won't do anything, but still he can get me something. All right. So I want to thank Melissa so much for coming out, and I hope to see you next week with new items. And I'm just bless you for coming out. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Jen. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Thanks.
Thank
All
you.
right. Mm-hmm. So that was Melissa from Trinkets Boutique. Boutique. I did it again. Okay, I did not boo anyone. I need to explain what's happening in the comments right now. Is that my husband is a guest, but he's also an admin of our software that we use. We share with another person. And so he was thinking he was commenting and under his own, and he did it under ours. So it looks like, but yes, I see what he's saying. Boutique. All right. So Josh, have you shared this with your followers? All right. So I'm going to bring on, I have to say, it's probably going to be the sexiest guest that I have. It is Thursday with the underwear model himself, Joshua J.
Hello.
Well, it's lovely to see you again.
Because it's been a whole minute and a half.
I know. And it's weird. I know we have viewers because they make comments and then I don't see them on the thing. I'm not sure I know how to use this, but
yeah, I'm not sure how to use it either.
We decided that we are going to bring you on every Thursday because you and Sarah Jean Stewart have started that beer thing. Can you tell, while I play with the lights, can you tell us a little bit about that beer thing, my love?
Yes, thanks. That beer thing is a website that will feature a blog written by myself and Sarah, Adventure Seeker Sarah, that will focus on beer, specifically beer culture, brewing, local beer, some more beer.
So beer is kind of your thing. So why didn't you do this with your wife? Why don't you do a blog about beer?
You'd think that'd be a great idea, but my wife hates beer.
I don't drink beer. Actually, I don't drink at all anymore. But I tried to do that wine thing. Hey, Jen.
Hey, Jen, what you
Yeah, exactly. And then she passed out. No. Yeah. So you have had a love of beer, and you were well into craft beer long before anyone else was. Like you when we
Well,
lived.
I wouldn't say before anyone else, but yeah, I guess I an early adopter for sure, but
Well, no,
yeah.
you used to go to in Regina. You used to go to the Bushwhacker Brew Pub, and there was a bunch of other beer nerds that you had in your basement, and you guys would just talk about beer, and it was like I always thought that was interesting because but then my fun was going to board meetings for nonprofits.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I know how to cut loose, baby.
Okay. So can I get started on my thing here? So
Absolutely.
I guess I will be here on Thursdays for Thirsty Thursdays. And by the way, being right after Melissa, who launched and was the owner of Flying Canoe, is kind of cool
Right.
for Thirsty
And
Thursday.
sold it too. And you know who they sold it to, right? It was
Saunders, yes.
No,
yes.
great
So
synergy there.
as I'm not a fan of cider in the first place, I would say that was one of the only ciders that I've ever enjoyed. So
they did a good job.
Thanks to them. They
All
did
right,
a great
so you're
job.
going to bring recommendations every week so people know
Sure.
what to drink. Yeah.
So this week I've chosen a beer from local, but not Ontario, Ottawa local beer. And in your theme of positivity, this was brewed specifically for I guess Kingston Pride specifically, but
very cool.
Pride itself. So this is a wheat beer,
okay,
brewed by I'm just doing an episode of Hey Josh, What You Drinking now, by the way. This is so if anyone would like to go and see Hey Josh, What You Drinking at YouTube, that's Hey Josh, What You Drinking, or at Hey Josh, at that beer thing on TikTok and the Instagram.
Yeah.
So I will take a beer like this and show it and be all like, ooh, look, a beer. Yeah. And I'll tell everybody where it came from. This one came from our Spearhead in Kingston. And typically I'll just read off what the back here says. And this one talks about how it was brewed in celebration of diversity, inclusion, and love for the Kingston Queens and Canadian Center for Gender Sexual Diversity. That's a...
So, but why is the pour so important? You're about to pour it. I want to know because why don't you have it ready for them before they come? Tell me about the pour.
It's just sexy.
Well, when you do it, sure.
pouring a beer out is an important part of the drinking process. So you have to. It's all the senses, right? It's not just gluck.
Yeah.
Yeah, not like you and your wine. So. Anyway, I'm going to get on to...
Yeah, keep going. Okay, I want to see the pour.
Okay, here we go. So...
Hold it up higher because...
I got to crack it first so it doesn't splatter over my computer. Okay, so what I have here
is... Look at how his hands are slow.
So I have this is a wheat beer. And a wheat beer is...
Is it a wheat beer or wheat beer?
Wheat.
Oh, like Saskatchewan beer.
Like Saskatchewan, yes. So a wheat beer is a type of beer that's made with wheat malt instead of barley malt, typically.
Okay.
And
so pour it higher because it has the thing.
I haven't started yet. So
so bossy.
Yeah, very bossy. So a wheat beer is typically a much a lighter beer than a barley beer, but still this one happens to be like 5% alcohol.
Is that light? I don't know.
No, that's just like right in the middle. So this is probably going to pour out very pale, and you can't smell it, but I'll tell you right now, there's 0 viewers. There's so wheat beers are usually brewed with a specific type of yeast that gives it a almost banana-y kind of candy aroma.
Banana, you're not making this sound better for me.
Banana-y, not banana, but banana-y.
Okay.
Banana-ish, banana-esque. Okay. And this one definitely has it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Okay. And then I'm gonna do the thing. So I'm pouring it out. Look how
Okay,
sexy
and
that
so
pour
why
is.
is it important to tilt the glass? Because you always yelled at me when I would do it. Now
Okay, well
just tell me.
you do that to start so that it doesn't get all too heady, and then but you do still want to have a good
What's the
amount of head.
head? That's the foam.
That's the foam, yes. So I don't want it. I want it to be foamy, but not too foamy. So
Okay.
I control the pour by making like that. So that's a great pour for me. And the foam on the beer is an important part of it too. It helps develop the aromas and the flavors, and it really gets it going in your nose. It's not just put it in your mouth and drink it. I heard it, but there's a whole process.
I heard it.
Okay.
All right.
So I'm looking at this, and as I said, I expected a very pale beer, and I've got that. I would have expected it to be fairly cloudy. This is more cloudy than I would have expected, but I'm also just read on the can that this has peach puree in it, so that would definitely contribute to the cloudiness. So anyway, it's all poured out now.
Sounds interesting. That's
it
for
is
sure.
interesting.
Let's see the taste. So you're sniffing it, you know.
So all the senses, right? I'm sniffing it. The banana aroma is much more pronounced like this. So so far, I'm very impressed with it. I haven't even put it in my mouth yet. So, and then
that's what she said.
Okay, yeah. And so at this point, this is where I have to stop and do the things for the social. Sorry, so I have to take pictures. So I got my take a
We're not
picture.
actually doing an episode.
Yes, I am.
Are you?
Yeah, this is being broadcast on my my YouTube right now. So
okay, I did know that.
You did know you set that up. So I'm going to leave Melissa in there, and then just in the notes I'll say beer review starts at 3.9 seconds or something.
Oh, okay, very cool, very cool.
Okay, so as I
see the taste.
Okay, so it's got a wheat beers would typically have an almost wheat kind of grainy bread aroma to it, but it also has that yeasty banana like background to it, and
banana yeast. You're making it sound sexy.
I don't
non-beer drinker.
You just want. I don't get any of the peach in it right now, but I'm sure once I take a sip, I will. Anyway, so cheers. Thanks for
Salut, sociable. But the Borgia.
All right.
I've been married to you a long time. All right.
As wheat beer goes, they're not my favorite.
Yeah.
But this is really good. This has a grainy kind of taste to it.
Okay.
And I meant grain. I mean, like it tastes like grain.
Yeah.
The banana flavor is there, but it's not pronounced, and it definitely has a nice hoppiness to it. And I don't know if you can see how bubbly it is. I
can see the bubbles.
This a wheat beer is typically fairly effervescent, and this is very typical of a good wheat beer. And this is a good wheat beer. I'm very happy with this.
Excellent.
Spearhead.
So he is happy with Spearhead. Beer.
Pride.
Wheat, bananas. Wheat. Yeast.
You're talking like a beer person now.
Yeah, I know. You've never been more turned on.
So,
remember, we are married, folks. That's right. I go far to get my guests. But what I want to ask you more about your beer thing.
Okay.
And not that. It's literally that beer thing.
That beer thing, yes.
That beer thing is, .ca, and is coming soon. But one of my big questions about this is because I actually like this, that you don't want to do beer reviews. You're doing beer tastings. Explain the difference.
Well, the idea came to me in the first place because I was part of an online beer tasting event.
Okay.
Put on by
Orleans?
Put on by the people at the one in Bell's Corners. The
Conspiracy?
No, the other one.
Mississippi?
That's the one. Thank you very much. And I thought
That's
that's
a lot of beer.
too much beer, right? Kitchissippi, yeah. Well, there's three really good ones in Bell's Corners a lot. And where was I going? I had too much beer already. The idea
You're talking
for
about why you don't like beer reviews.
all right, why I don't like beer reviews. No, I like beer reviews. I do them all
Beer
the time.
ratings, I mean. Beer ratings.
Okay, you mean like ratings on
Like
a
a
website?
5 stars.
Okay,
4 stars.
like okay, there's several websites that give beer ratings. There's a rate that beer, and there's like the apps. There's several different apps. Untapped is one of the popular ones that I like best, but they typically will ask the drinker to rate that beer out of 5.
Okay.
And I don't like doing that. I like being subjective or subjective. No, I like being objective, not subjective. So I don't want to say this was a 5-star beer because what does that mean? That means I really liked it, but someone who hates it is going to say, "Oh, that's a 0-star beer."
Well, yeah, for me, I mean, it would still be a
right. So
if I was rating beers, I'd say it still tastes like beer.
If I'm going to do a review, I'm going to purposely not press that 5-star or 2-star or whatever, but I'm going to say I like this beer because I didn't like this beer because. So
love it.
And also, and then I don't know this for sure, and I've only heard it from one person who works in the industry. It's like they find it's frustrating, and it must be. I could understand. It must be really frustrating for a brewer who's put his time and effort and all that they've got into it, and they go and look at their review on Untapped and it says 3 stars. It's like how this is, but then as 4 people said, "Oh, this was excellent," and one person said, "Oh, 1 star." It's like I guess like
so you're a beer hippie, is what you mean. Everybody gets a participation.
Participation ribbon. Sure, it's an egalitarian. Egalitarian. Yes, I'm an egalitarian beer snob. Yes.
All right. So everyone, Joshua J. and Adventure Seeker Sarah starting the blog. I believe it's dropping February 12th, something like that.
That the week of the 10th is the goal. So
the week of the 10th, yeah. And so you've been writing up a storm, and I'm really excited to see this succeed.
Sarah has been writing. Well, Sarah's in Costa Rica right now. Anybody who watched yesterday saw her in Costa Rica. She visited a brewery there. Will contribute a portion, but yeah, so we're pretty excited about that. But
what if someone wanted to be a contributor or to help out with that beer thing? How can they contact you?
Well, that's definitely something that we're considering in the near future. There are a lot of great beer bloggers in Ottawa specifically, but also in all across the country, and they could.
I'm just talking about, because I know guys who have guy crushes on you. I think it's because they want me, but it's because you're kind of that cool guy. So what I was trying to get you to say is right now, the best way to follow Josh is to subscribe to Hey Josh, What You Drinking?
Hey Josh, What You Drinking on YouTube. Please like and subscribe, especially subscribe. The more people subscribe to Hey Josh, What You Drinking.
Go to your TikTok, that beer thing.
Well, specifically YouTube, because then I can do more things and monetize.
All right. So Josh is going to be here every Thursday. Thursdays bringing a new beer. And as we continue to grow from 0 to 10 to 20 to 1,000, shush, it's people come and look after. That's the whole point. The live is the excitement, interaction, and it'll come. It's like I just told Melissa, is that we could just give up and say, "Oh, today no one." And I know the time, but people just need to get used to it and say, "Oh, exciting." So right now, I mean, one thing I've decided is not to stress about anything and just to organically grow this. And that's the way we do things. So I want to thank
this is great. No matter what, it still goes up on my YouTube and I can.
Absolutely. And you get to see a hottie for a little bit that you can then come downstairs and see after. We definitely need better lighting in both of our rooms. But for now, I want to thank Joshua J for coming. Again, Hey Josh, What You Drinking on YouTube?
On YouTube. And
Whatcha, not what are you? Whatcha, because my husband has grammar. And every
boutique.
So I look forward to having you back on the show next week, and maybe we'll even give people a taste earlier of what you will be doing, and maybe they can pre-purchase it and drink it with you.
Well, I know the producer. I know Jenn Hayward show, so I have the inside scoop.
I think I don't remember, but intimately. What? I want to thank Josh for coming. I'm going to remove him now. Go to Hey Josh, What's Your Drink? And so that was the Jenn Hayward show. You know, we keep fooling with this. If you are watching it after it's live, give me a note wherever you're watching it from. Just say, hey, yeah, I watched it. Drop me a line if you have some advice besides. Oh my God, stop putting your stuff up, Josh. I'm not giving my guests admin access anymore. And you know what? Like this 14-day positivity thing I'm doing, it really is helping. I'm gonna kill him. It really is helping me. And you know what? I get feedback later on. The things that I do help others. And I want everyone just to chill out. Society is gone to a handbag. And when I'm talking to my friends in Africa who don't even have access to vaccines, and they do not have the luxury to go online and fight to stop people, to do all the things. They don't have the luxury because they're out there helping people. So please, if you can give, but just chill out. Let's have some fun in life, people, because really it's not what life is doing to us. It's how we respond to it. My name's Jenn Hayward, and I got to come up with a tagline.